Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees, for coming early this morning. We were singing Jai Radha Neelamani, Jai Radha Vamshidhari, and then what did we sing? Jai Radha Murlidhar. Why? Is there a connection with Sri Nityananda Prabhu of Murlidhar? Yesterday we were briefly discussing when the Sannyasi Thakur came to Ekachakra, to the house of Sri Hadai Pandit and Srimati Padmavati Devi. He took little Nitai with him forever, never to come back to Ekachakra. When they were leaving, Srimati Padmavati Devi was inconsolable. You can only imagine. Hadai Pandit and Padmavati Devi would not even let Nitai out of their sight for a second. It is described that when in Chaitanya Bhagavatam it is described when Hadai Pandit would go even to the market to get some grocery, he would take Nitai with him, and every few seconds he would keep looking at Nitai. They were so attached. And now suddenly he is going to go forever with the sannyasi. So she was inconsolable. Hadai Pandit was inconsolable. They were weeping and crying piteously. The Sannyasi Thakur had a deity. What was the name of the deity of Krishna? Murlidhar. He carried a deity of Krishna with him wherever he went. The deity was called Murlidhar. And seeing the inconsolable state of Padmavati Devi and Hadai Pandit, the parents of Nityananda Prabhu, the Sannyasi Thakur gave his personal deity Murlidhar to Padmavati Devi. And he said that you worship Murlidhar and your pangs of separation from Nitai will be mitigated. But Padmavati Devi was too stunned that my Nitai is going, my Nitai is going. And just right before their eyes, Nitai and the Sannyasi Thakur walked away. And Padmavati Devi was holding the deity of Murlidhar. And she was crying and crying and crying. But when she looked at the face of Murlidhar, she saw the face of Nitai. And after that day, whenever she looked at Murlidhar, she saw her Nitai. She had darshan of her Nitai. Therefore, I was reminded of Murlidhar. Hare Krishna. So we'll get started. Today, I will share with all of you something that is very dear to my heart. This is one of my favorite stories from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. It's a very obscure story, and many times this story is missed. But ever since I read it, this story has stuck in my heart. So it is very dear to my heart, and therefore I'm sharing with all of you today. The story is from the 9th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Can any of you guess which story this is from the 9th canto? Pṛṣadhra. Lord Parshuram. Okay. Any other guesses? King Nahush. Good guess. That is also one of my favorite stories. Anything else? Okay, so I will reveal the suspense. So this is the 9th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and it has been translated into English language and commented upon by our beloved founder Acharya, Nitya Lila Pravishtha, Om Vishnupad, Ashtottara Shata Shri Śrīmad Abhay Charana Aravinda, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So we will be reading this. Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare Krishna. So we'll be reading this very beautiful story from the 9th canto, and I hope all of you relish it. So let's go to the 9th canto of Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, chapter 2. Chapter 2, and this chapter is entitled The Dynasties of the Sons of Manu. Doesn't sound very interesting, right? But it has a very beautiful story in this. So, 9th canto, chapter 2, The Dynasties of the Sons of Manu. We'll start from the first verse and we'll just keep reading. Text 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Evam gatetha sudyumne manur vaivasvatah sute putra kamas tapaste pe yamunayam shtatam samaha. Translation. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, thereafter, when his son Sudyumna had thus gone to the forest to accept the order of Vanaprastha, Shri Vaivasvat Manu, also called as Shraddhadev. And who was Vaivasvat Manu in his previous life?
Raja.
Very good, very good. So there's a chapter called The Fish Incarnation of the Lord Matsya Avatar. In that it is described, very good, that there was Maharaj Satyavrat who had the wonderful interaction with that fish, was Shri Matsyadev. And in his next life, he became the Manu, the son of Vivaswan, sun god, son of sun god, S-O-N of the S-U-N god. And his name was, because he was son of Vivaswan, the sun god, he was called Vaivasvat. And he became the Manu, so Vaivasvat Manu. So we are talking about the son of Vaivasvat Manu in this story. So here Shri Shukdev Goswami tells Maharaj Parikshit that after Sudyumna, who was the son of Vaivasvat Manu, took Vanaprastha, Vaivasvat Manu wanted to create more progeny. So being desirous of getting more sons, he performed severe austerities where? On the banks of Yamuna. Yamunayam Shatam Sama. Shatam Samaha means 100 years. Shata means 100. For 100 years on the banks of Yamuna, Shraddhadev or Vaivasvat Manu performed tapasya. You see, in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, there are many examples that when devotees want to perform bhajan, they go to a holy place. Can you give some other examples? Where did Dhruv Maharaj go?
Madhuvan.
Yes, Madhuvan, on the banks of?
Yamuna.
Yes, Yamuna. Very good example. Any other example? Yes, Mother. इसको पीछे माता थोड़ा और is okay.
You can say the Yamuna.
Dear devotees, please move forward.
Close association.
Hare Krishna. Any other example in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam where a devotee wanted to do bhajan and went to a holy place to take advantage of the holy place? Went to the bank of a holy river, Yamuna. Very good. Where did Vidur go? Okay, he went to all the holy places. Yes. One in Vrindavan, he met Uddhav. Dhruv Maharaj, yes. Any other example? Very famous example of a devotee who did tapasya in a holy place. Think. Shaubhari Muni, yes. Who said Shaubhari Muni? Very nice. Shaubhari Muni, where was he sitting? Yamuna. Tell about Bhagirath Muni.
He was also doing austerity under Ganga Sagar, but
Bhagirath Muni had to bring Ganga Devi down, right?
he did austerity.
Did he do in a holy place? I don't know. I'm asking. With another famous example. Somebody who went to a holy place to do bhajan. Where did Maharaj Ambarish go? Ambarish Maharaj? Yeah, he went to Vrindavan and he was doing his Bharat. Vidurji also, yes. Shri Narottam Das Thakur, yes, he went to Vrindavan. So in this way, we have seen in our scriptures that devotees take advantage of the holy place. So what should we do in Kartik? The holy dhams. We should go to Navadvip Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham. Because the holy places have very special potency. Very special potency. The Dham. There is the Dham Shakti. So we should take advantage. So Vaivasvat Manu, he went to the bank of Yamuna to do his bhajan. And why he wanted to bhajan? Because he wanted to get good children. for the betterment of this world. Let's go to text number 2. Again, this is Canto 9, chapter 2. Now we'll go to text number 2. Tato yajanmanurdevam apatyartham Translation.
Then, because of this desire for sons, the Manu known as Shraddha worshipped the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, the Lord of the demigods. Thus he got 10 sons exactly like himself. Among them all, Ikshvaku was the eldest.
Very good. Now in this verse, look at the verse. What are the different names of the Supreme Lord mentioned? One is Hari and one is Deva. Tato Yajan Manu Devam. And then Hari, Prabhu is there. So Prabhu, Hari, different names of Krishna. 3 names of Krishna in one verse. So number 3. So basically, Vaivasvat Manu, he worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vrindavan on the banks of Yamuna, and thus he got 10 sons who are exactly like him. Lebe Swa Sadrishan Dasha. Dasha means 10, and Swa Sadrisha means they were as good as him. Like father, like sons. So he got very nice qualified sons, 10 sons. Text number 3. Alayam asagayato ratyam virasana vrataha. Aditya Prabhu, you want to read translation?
Among these sons, Pṛṣadhra, following the order of his spiritual master, was engaged as a protector of cows. He would stand all night with the sword to give the cows protection.
Wonderful. So we are going to talk about Pṛṣadhra, the son of Vaivasvat Manu today. I very much like this story. So this is the hero of our story today. Pṛṣadhra. So what did he do? Now, how many sons did Vaivasvat Manu get now, this time?
10.
Okay, 10. And Pṛṣadhra was one of the 10 sons that he got as a result of his tapasya and bhajan done on the banks of Yamuna. For how many years? 100 years. So he got 10 sons, and Pṛṣadhra was one of them. And Pṛṣadhra was engaged in what? Palayan Asa Gaha. He was engaged in what service? Taking care of the cows. Was he engaged in the service whimsically, manmani acharan, or under the order of somebody? On the order of spiritual master. That is very important. We should not take up any service just whimsically. No, I want to do it. I like it. No. He was doing it on the order of his spiritual master. And what is the exact word used here? Guru Krita. It was a Guru Pradatta Seva, Guru given Seva. That is very important. So Pṛṣadhra was nicely situated. He was having a very good birth, the son of Vaivasvat Manu. So great grandson of Suryadev. He was one Maharaj. So nice family. He had a guru. Who was the guru? Vasishtha Manu. And he was engaged in some illicit activity or some pious activity. Taking care of cows is a very pious activity. So you see, everything is auspicious so far about Pṛṣadhra. So far, because Bhāgavatam is Bhāgavatam. It will churn our hearts. So he was having a Guru Pradatta Seva, a Guru given Seva, a very nice Seva, Palayan Ga, taking care of the cows. And was he doing it diligently?
Yes.
How is that evident in the verse? Ratrayam virasana vrata. What do we do at night? Sleep. Huh?
Stand with a sword.
Very good. He was stand with a sword in virasan. He would sit in virasan position with a sword, and he would guard the cows all day and all night. So night is mentioned because we sleep at night. It was understood that he was doing it in the daytime. But when Lakshman did not sleep day and night for 14 years, this Pṛṣadhra day and night was guarding the cows. Such a nice service, no? Day and night was doing service given by his Gurudev. And that also very diligently. Virasana. He was taking a Virasan posture. Now, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says that one who becomes Virasan takes the vow to stand all night with a sword to give protection to the cows. Because Pṛṣadhra was engaged in this way, it is to be understood that he had no dynasty. No dynasty means he was a brahmachari. He had no wife and children. He was completely engaged in the service of Gurudev. How wonderful. So he was a brahmachari also, completely engaged in a wonderful service. We can further understand from this vow accepted by Pṛṣadhra how essential it is to protect the cows. Go Mata ki Jai. Some son of a Kshatriya would take this vow to protect the cows from ferocious animals even at night. So not only at night, even at means day and night. See? So Srila Prabhupada is saying in the bygone years, if a king had many sons, one son would devote himself completely to Goseva. How wonderful. How important it is. And for Vaivasvata Manu, this son was Pṛṣadhra. He took up this service. What then is to be said of sending cows to slaughterhouse? Here is a king's son who's not getting married, giving up all pleasures, even giving up the pleasure of sleeping at night for the sake of cow seva. And now we have governments all over the world which have legalized cow slaughter. Think about the deplorable condition of the world today. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada in his Vyaspuja offering to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, in that famous poem where Prabhupada wrote, impersonal calamity thou hast moved, absolute sentience thou hast proved. In that Srila Prabhupada, a very nice line, I like it very much. Struggle for existence, the human race. Our only hope is divine grace. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, Prabhupada says what to speak of this time when cows are sent to slaughterhouses by the government. Prabhupada says this is the most sinful activity in human society. Hare Krishna. Let's go to verse number 4. Now what happens? So far everything is picture perfect, right? For Pṛṣadhra Maharaj, picture perfect. But is life like that? And Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is a very practical book. Very practical book. So it's going to tell us practical lessons, what happens in our life. All the lessons will come. Now see what happens. Verse 4. Ekada parishad gosham chardulo nishiv varshati jayam dava. See here the word vraja. Vraja is used to indicate the land surrounding the cowshed where the cows are kept. So translation, Prabhuji, please read.
Once at night, while it was raining, a tiger entered the land of the cowshed.
Shardul means tiger. See, look at the word Shardul. And Nishi means night.
Upon seeing the tiger, all cows who were lying down got up in fear and scattered here and there on the land.
What is the word used for got scared? Fear? Bhitas. Bhitas. Bhai. So the cows became scared when they saw the tiger. Tiger suddenly entered the cowshed. The cows were kept to attack them. See, when tigers, normally they hunt in the forest, but when they become little old or if they're injured, they try to catch an easy prey. So they go for the cattle because they are very defenseless. Radhana Swami explains that of all the animals, there is only one animal which cannot live in the wild. It is an obligate domestic animal. For example, dogs, there are wild dogs. Cats, there are wild cats. All animals can survive in the wild. But of all the species, there is only one species which is exclusively dependent on human beings for protection. It is always a domestic animal, and that is cow. So cow totally depends on human beings for protection. And when those human beings, the protectors, become the aggressors, it's a very deplorable situation, Prabhupada says. So here, the tiger attacked the cows at night in the cow shed. Then what happened? Texts 5 and 6. So who was there to protect them from the tiger? Pṛṣadhra. So let's see what happens. Ekam Tasyastu kranditam shrutva prasidho musasaraha khadgam adaya tarasa pralimbho dharmishi ajan achitto bhabho shurha shardona shankaya. Who wants to read? Mataji, read. Somebody read. Who has the words? Translation?
When the very strong tiger seized the cow screamed in distress and fear, and Pṛṣadhra, hearing the screaming, immediately followed the sound. He took up his sword, but because the stars were covered by clouds, he mistook the cow for the tiger, and mistakenly cut off the cow's head.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Such a nice prince, brahmachari, guru sevak, go sevak, servant of the cows, servant of his guru. See what he did. So yesterday we were discussing that if there is a cloudless night, the moonlight and the starlight is enough to see. But it was a night covered by clouds, and he could not see. Similarly, sometimes we may be well trained in spiritual life, but sometimes our judgment gets clouded. Our judgment gets clouded and we are not able to make the right decision. So Pṛṣadhra, what was his intention? To protect the cows from the tiger. His intention was to kill the aggressor, the tiger. But what did he end up doing by mistake?
He killed the cow.
He killed the cow instead of the tiger. He cut off the cow's head with his sword, thinking that it is a tiger. Hare Krishna. But what happened was, the tiger was close by attacking that cow. So he attacked the tiger, but ended up slicing the neck of the cow. But the tiger also had grabbed the neck of the cow. So the tiger's ear got cut. The tiger's ear got cut. So tiger also got hurt, but the cow got killed. Text 7. No, you have a big home and a big heart.
Kirtan 50, they say that if you see the floor in front of you, that means you can move ahead. Real estate is very expensive.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Nishkakama visham bhito raktam pathi samutsrajan. Read the translation, please.
Because the tiger's ear had been cut by the edge of the sword, the tiger was very afraid, and it fled from that place while bleeding on the street.
So first the cows got afraid. Now, because of Pṛṣadhra, the tiger got afraid because he suddenly lost his ear with a sharp sword. So he also took off, ran away in fear. But the damage was already done. The cow had been killed by Pṛṣadhra unknowingly. So there are two things, my dear friends. There is action and there is intention. There is action and there is intention. The world sees our action. Who sees the intention? Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. Only Krishna knows our intentions. The world only sees our actions, and the world judges us based on what? But Krishna sees
Intention.
what is the action of Putana? Very nice. Like a mother. What is the intention? What is the intention? What was Pṛṣadhra's action? No, action. Kill them. Intention? Hare Krishna. So now let's see what happens. So intention and action, both are there. More important is the intention. If our intention is pure and there is some mistake in our action, Krishna will forgive us. The world may or may not forgive. We should not be attached that why the world is not understanding that my intention was good. Well, they may not, because they are not Krishna. Only Krishna can understand. So we should not get disappointed or dejected if the world judges us based on our actions, because that's all they can see. But Krishna knows the action and the intention, and Krishna gives more importance to the intention. Therefore, Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam may be very simple things, isn't it? Krishna deserves. Today, Ajay Mohan Prabhu and Kirtan Sundari Mataji, they woke up, I don't know how early, maybe 2 or 2:30 in the morning, and they moved all the furniture, started cooking for all of you. So it's not a small home, Mataji, it's a big home and big heart.
Very
Hare Krishna. Jai Ho. Mataji Bhakta Vrinda ki. Hare Krishna, thank you. माता जी इसके अनुगत्य में So action and intention, both are there. Now what we should do? We should try our level best. We should try our best to keep our actions and our intentions in sync. We should not act in a way that we are misunderstood and then say, they should look at my intention. My intention was not like that. No. Better to keep our action and intention in sync, congruous. The actions and the intentions should match. But still sometimes we will be misunderstood. And then we have to just tolerate. Dham, Bhāgavatam. We have to just tolerate. But from our side, we should try our best that our actions and intentions are matching. So the world doesn't have any scope to misunderstand. Like Prabhupada said, the Caesar's wife should be above suspicion. So we should not act suspiciously. We should act in a very straightforward way. Saralta hi Vaishnavata. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to quote this. That Vaishnavism means being very straightforward. So actions and intentions should be clear for a devotee. But of the two, more important is intention, because Krishna accepts our intention. Mukho vadati Vishnaye. Vadati Vishnave. Upayastu samam punyam bhavagrahi janardhan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Nimai Pandit, who is the greatest scholar of Sanskrit Vyakaran, it was Nimai Pandit, after taking initiation from Sri Ishwar Puripad, he came back to Nadia, and as a Adhyapak, as a teacher of Sanskrit, he started teaching his students all the rules of Sanskrit Vyakaran in reference to Harinam. Everything was Harinam. And, for example, there is Laghu Guru in Sanskrit. There are short syllables and there are long syllables, Laghu and Guru. So he called Laghu Vaman and Guru Trivikram. So instead of saying Laghu Guru, what is there in Laghu Guru? Instead you say Vaman Trivikram, like that. So everything, Nimai Pandit, he changed in accordance to Harinam. And this was given as a seed to Sri Rupa Goswami. And Sri Rupa Goswami wrote around 800 to 900 sutras of Sanskrit Vyakaran in the form of Harinam. And who was the disciple of Srila Rupa Goswami? Srila Jiva Goswami. And Srila Jiva Goswami expanded it into more than 3,000 sutras. And that is the Harinamamrit Vyakaran. So beautiful. So that Nimai Pandit, who is the greatest scholar of Sanskrit, is saying, when we apply tilak, Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, and then right side of the belly, Om Vishnave Namaha. See, all of you said Om Vishnave Namaha. So you are all dhiras. Om Vishnave Namaha. Shri Nimai Pandit says in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Murkhavadati Vishnaye. If someone says Om Vishnaye Namaha, instead of Om Vishnave Namaha. So Murkha means a person who is not learned. Murkho vadati Vishnaye. Om Vishnaye Namaha. धीर वदति विष्णवे ओम विष्णवे नमः मूर्ख वदति विष्णवे धीर वदति विष्णवे ओम विष्णवे नमः उभय means both उभय समम पुण्यम both get the same spiritual benefit उभय sama means same उभय samam punyam. Why? One said Vishnaya, one said Vishnava, one said right, one said wrong. How both of them get equal credit? Because both intended to offer their namaskar to Lord Vishnu. So Bhavagrahi Janardhana, Ubhayavitu Samam Punya. So that is our Krishna. So Krishna sees what? Bhav, intention. Not just the action. But the world will see just the action, not the intention. So we have to be careful. So we should be careful, but at the same time, we should be always hopeful that even if the whole world misunderstands me, as long as my intention is pure, Krishna is pleased. And if Krishna is pleased, we are successful. How? What is the praman for that? If Krishna is pleased, we are successful. Success means siddhi, perfection. Samsiddhir, Samsiddhir haritoshan. If Krishna is pleased, we are successful. Okay. So now what is happening here? The tiger's ear got cut. He got scared and fled from that place, bleeding on the street. But what happened to the cow? The cow was killed by Pṛṣadhra. Let's go to text 8. Manyamano hatam vyagram Pṛṣadhra parviraha antakshe swahatam bhagrum yastayam vishidukitaha. Yes, one of you read the translation.
Yeah.
Here, read.
In the morning, when Pṛṣadhra who was quite able to subdue his enemy, saw that he had killed the cow. Although at night he had thought he had killed the tiger, he was very unhappy.
Hare Krishna. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is addressed as Parantapa. Para means the enemies. Swa means our people. Para means opposite camp, enemies. And Tapa means to give tap, to punish. Arjuna was the subduer of enemies. So, Parantapa. What is the word used for Pṛṣadhra in a similar way? Very good. Paravira ha. Ha literally means to kill or beat. So although he was quite capable of subduing the enemy in the morning, what is the word used for morning? Look. Nishi. Nishi means night. So when the night was over, Vishtayam, the night was over, in the morning he saw that, oh, I killed a cow, thinking that it's a tiger. And he was very unhappy, very sad. What did I do? Such remorse, such guilt. What have I done? I killed a cow. I killed that one for whose sake I am standing guard. One who I am supposed to protect, I have killed. So Dukkhita. That means it was unintentional. That's why he was overcome with guilt and sorrow. So in the morning he realized what he had done. I had killed the cow and he became very unhappy. Text 9. Mataji, please, one Mataji, read the translation, please. Someone.
His family priest Pṛṣadhra, his family priest Pṛṣadhra cursed him, saying, in your next life, you shall not be able to become a Kshatriya. Instead, I shall take birth as a Śrīmad because of killing you.
Hare Krishna. So who is the Kuracharya? Vasishtha Muni. So although he had committed the sin unknowingly, he had not done it intentionally, the family priest, his guru, Vasishtha Muni, what did he do?
Curse.
What is the use for curse? Shashapa. He was cursed by Vasishtha Muni. And no Chhatrabandhu. You will not become a Kshatriya, but you will become Shudra form. Shudra form. You will become Shudra. And Bhavata means in the future. Because you have killed a cow. So Vasishtha Muni punished Pṛṣadhra, cursed him. Now imagine, he is the son of Manu. He is brahmachari, he is following the orders of the guru, and he made a mistake. and now he's cursed to become a Shudra. From a high class Kshatriya, he's going to become a Shudra. Not Kshatriya Bandhu, Shudrastvam. You become a Shudra. He was cursed to become a Shudra. Any other example from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam?
Vidura.
Huh?
Vidura.
Vidura? No, any other example from Śrīmad? Yes, Vidura was a son of a Shudrani. True. My question is, any other example in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam where someone was engaged in the service of Krishna under the guidance of one's superior but had a fall down while engaged in the service?
Kumar cursed.
Huh?
Son of Kumar, they cursed.
Very good. Chatush Kumar, the four Kumar brothers, they cursed Jai Vijay. They were doing the service, guarding. Huh? Very nice. Very nice. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya, superb example. Kaliya Krishna Das, yes. Parikshit Maharaj. Yes, Parikshit Maharaj also, well, he was on a hunting, but okay. The Kshatriyas were allowed to hunt. But yeah, he had a reversal in life, yes. Huh? Very good example. Super. Bharat Maharaj. He was following Varnashram. He gave up his kingship, went to holy place. Another example, Gandaki, where Shaligrams are found. He was worshipping Shaligram Shila doing tapasya and had a fall down. Sudama. Very nice. That is Garga Samhita. Yes. Ah, Chitraketu Maharaj. He had become a preacher, a Vidyadhar. Preaching. He had Sakshat Darshan of Lord Shankarshan. And yes, he had a fall down. Another classic example.
King Riga.
Huh?
King Riga, like he was.
Very good, very good, very good. Yes.
But remembering the name of the personality, there was a devotee who was very much, towards his wife and beautiful life.
Garudas.
And then converted.
Yeah, Shripad Ramanujacharya converted him. Pashwini in the eyes of Lord Ranganath. So he had a upliftment. He had an upliftment. He was uplifted. Very nice. But any example, classic example, you all know this example. He was engaged. He had gone to get tulsi leaves and flowers and kusha grass. Yes. So other example, someone said? Which one never had a fall down? He never had a fall down. Ambarish Maharaj. Yeah. So if you read the first chapter of the 6th canto, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, it is Ajamil, his father, had sent him to the forest to bring tulsi leaves, flowers, kusha grass for Thakurji Seva. So he had gone for the Seva of the Supreme Lord. And somehow he saw that scene and he fell down. So same thing happened to Pṛṣadhra. He was engaged in a good service, but he made a horrible mistake by killing a cow, Go Hatya. And now his Gurudev is upset. So he has displeased his Guru. That is another problem. Guru is displeased and Guru has cursed him. You become Shudra. Shudrastvam. Go become a Shudra. So now, but what is this Bhavita? Means in the future you become. Now you are a Kshatriya, but in your next life you will become a Shudra. Now who is Vasishtha Muni? Does he appear in Ramayana? As? Because see, which Vansha is this? Ikshvaku Vansh. And later on this Vansh, Lord Ram is going to appear. And Vasishtha Muni is going to be there as the Kul Guru, the Kulacharya. That is Vasishtha Muni. He was a very great sadhu. He was there when Bhishma Dev was departing. He was there when Shukdev Goswami was speaking Śrīmad. He is everywhere. Vasishtha Muni. He has cursed. Actually, there's some chota mota smaller curse. This is Vasishtha Muni. Vasishtha, one of the Saptarishis has cursed. Finished. Huh? So now, very horrible situation. You have been cursed by Vasishtha Muni. Now look at Srila Prabhupada's purport. It's beautiful. Prabhupada also is in his own glory. It appears that Vasishtha was not. Srila Prabhupada. It appears that Vasishtha was not free from Tamogun. Even when I was listening to this Harikatha by Srila Radha Govind Maharaj, so there is a series of lectures called on Ambarish Charitra. So it begins with this chapter. So when Srila Radha Govind Maharaj comes to this verse, Dham, Phaltu. This Vasishtha, how could he curse? Srila Radha Govind Maharaj gets angry. How could he curse? समझना चाहिए ना, गलती हो गई, क्षमा करना चाहिए. He got very upset. So our Prabhupada was also very upset. Our acharyas. How can you curse someone like Pṛṣadhra? It was in the dark. Poor thing, what's his fault? Although Pṛṣadhra had committed the sin unknowingly, he was cursed. So it appears that Vasishtha was not free from tamogun, the mode of ignorance. As the family priest or spiritual master of Pṛṣadhra, Vasishtha Muni should have taken Pṛṣadhra's offense very lightly. But instead, Vasishtha Muni cursed him to become a Shudra. It is the duty of a family priest not to curse a disciple. If Guru is going to curse the disciple, then Yasya Prasada Nagati Kutopi. Yasya Prasada. Yasya Prasada not Prasada. Yasya Aprasada Nagati Kutopi. If Guru is displeased, then where do we go? Where do we go? So Prabhupada says, a Guru should not curse a disciple, but to give him relief. It is the duty of the Guru to give him relief through the performance of some sort of atonement. Should tell some prayaschitta, some atonement should be given by Guru. Srila Prabhupada, very beautiful example, I like this very much. Srila Prabhupada was in a temple during the early years of ISKCON. It was Ekadashi, and one disciple of Srila Prabhupada did not know that green peas are considered anna. They are not Ekadashi friendly. So he made something, Ekadashi, and he put green peas in that. And he fed all the devotees. And Prabhupada came, and it was Ekadashi day, and Prabhupada says, so what is there for prasad? And they offered Prabhupada something with green peas. Prabhupada said, no, green peas are not allowed on Ekadashi. And then he called the cook, and the cook, bichara, he didn't know. So he felt very bad. Prabhupada said, you have committed a grave offense. You have not only broken your Ekadashi, but you have broken the Ekadashi of hundreds of devotees of Krishna. You have committed an offense. So this devotee started crying. He said, I was doing seva, I was serving as a cook in the temple, and now it's such a big offense has happened. Now what do I do? What is the prayaschitta? Prabhupada said, don't worry. You fast for 3 days. Ekadashi fast you do for 3 days, and you will be forgiven. See? This is Guru. Hare Krishna. All glories to Vasishtha Muni. He's teaching us. Vasishtha Muni is a great soul. He's taking this role like who kicked Lord Vishnu on the chest? It's a Leela. So ठीक है, Vasishtha Muni cursed. Prabhupada says नहीं करना चाहिए. It should not do like this. A disciple should not be cursed by Guru. It should give an atonement. So Vasishtha Muni, however, is just the opposite. Prabhupada is chastising Vasishtha Muni. And not only Prabhupada, it's a whole parampara. Vasishtha Muni. Prabhupada quotes, therefore, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Vasishtha Muni was Durmati. In other words, his intelligence was not very good. So all the acharyas have come together. Chastise Vasishtha Muni, Vichare Vasishtha Muni. Hare Krishna. But we know that Vasishtha Muni is a great soul. This is a Leela for us to learn. So now Vasishtha Muni has cursed Pṛṣadhra. Let's see what happens. Verse number 10. Evam shaktistu guruna kritanjalihi adharayat vratam veera urdhvareta muni priyam. Very, very beautiful verse. This is very beautiful verse. Evam shaptas. Matlab, shaptas means sharp, cursed. By who? Guruna. His own Guru cursed him. What did he do? Pratyagrahanat. He accepted the curse. Did not tell his Guru, what? Gurudev, what is this? I have served you so many years. My whole family is serving you. You will curse me? Where will I go? No negotiation with Guru. He just accepted the curse. Like Parikshit Maharaj. Just accepted the curse. And how he accepted? Kritanjali. Folded hands. Jai Gurudev. Adharayad vratam veera. And then after accepting the curse, Adharayat, he accepted something else. What? Vratam veera. First he was a Nirasan, serving the cows, protecting the cows. Now he took the vrat of a hero. So vratam veera means it's the vow of a hero. What is that vow? Urdhva Veda, Brahmachari. It's a very, very important vow. Brahmacharya is for everyone. Urdhvareta. We have to control our senses, especially tongue, belly, and genitals. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jivhara lalasai, iti uti dhai. Shishnodhara parayana, Krishna nahi pai. If you are Shishnodhara parayana, Krishna means genitals, and Udhar means belly. If you are controlled by belly and genitals, Krishna nahi pai. You will not get Krishna. We have to come to the point of Brahmacharya. It is for everyone, especially Grihasthas. Hare Krishna. So, and Srila Prabhupada was very uncompromising about this. Srila Prabhupada was told, you just drop one regulative principle, you will get millions of followers. Then what is there? Just eat, dance, make merry. Just remove one regulative principle. Prabhupada said. No. Prabhupada was uncompromising. Because our Shastra, repeat, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I think 6th chapter, when it describes the first thing, Krishna says, first follow Brahmacharya, Krishna says. Then go to a holy place, not too high, not too low, put a kushasan, sit like that. But first is Brahmacharya. Therefore, Brahmacharya has been said here, Vratam Veera. It is the Vrat that heroes take. That I will observe Brahmacharya. And they become Urdhvaret. The Virya goes up, semen goes up. To the vow of Brahmacharya, which is approved by all the greats. Muni Priya. Brahmacharya is Muni Priya. It is very dear to the Munis, the great like Narad Muni, all the Munis. It is very dear to the Munis. Muni Priya. Okay, so now let's look at Pṛṣadhra Maharaj. He has been cursed, but he has taken it in his stride. He is not angry, he is not negotiating, he is not upset, he is not saying why bad things happen to good people. He accepted it. With folded hands. Whatever. It's my karma. Tattenu kampam susamikshamano bhujadevatmakritam vipakam. Atmakritam, when vipak means calamity. When vipak comes, we consider it atmakritam. I have only created this. Tattenu kampam susamikshamano bhujadevatmakritam vipakam. Namaste. So he accepted it. Then he took a severe vow of Brahmacharya, which is Muni Priya, which is very dear to all the great sadhus. Then what did he do? So this is the preparation. Brahmacharya in itself is not going to take us anywhere. Brahmacharya in itself, even the trees are brahmacharis. Brahmacharya in itself is not going to help us. When that energy that we get from Brahmacharya is used in Krishna's service, then Krishna is very pleased. So now he has taken the Veera Vrat, Muni Priya, Urdhvareta, the vow of Brahmacharya, which is very dear to the Munis, but now what he does, that is most important. That is the essence of Bhakti. Samyakaksho parigraha yadrichayopapannena kalpayan vrittim atmanaha atmanam adhaya jnana triptaha samahitaha vichachara mahi etam jadandha manurakhyati. Somebody read the translation, please. Mataji. One second. We'll go slowly. So he became Vimukta Sangha and he became Shantatma, peaceful in mind. See each and every word in the translation and map it to the original Sanskrit verse. So he became Vimukta Sangha means what? Vimukta Sangha means association, and Vimukta means Mukta means free, and Vimukta means Viveka, completely free, no bad association. Now he had nothing, only devotee association, and he became Shantatma. Okay, keep reading, Mataji.
Unaffected by material conditions, being pleased with whatever was available by the grace of the Lord to bring body and soul together, And being equal toward everyone, he gave full attention to the Supreme Personality of God and Vasudeva, who is the transcendental super soul, free from material contamination.
Vasudeva Bhagavati, Lord Vasudeva, we are chanting in the beginning, Vasudeva Para Gati. Krishna is the supreme destination for us. So Vasudeva Bhagavati, Sarvat Bhari, he is in everyone's heart. Ishwar Sarva Bhutana, Tishtati. And Pare Amale. Krishna is Amal. He is pure. What does Arjun say in the 10th chapter in Bhagavad Gita when Krishna speaks the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita? Pavitram. See, Krishna is Pavitram, pure. Param Brahma Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashvatam Divyam, Ādi Gadādhar Ajam Divyam. Ahusta Vishaya Sarve, Devarshi Narada Vasa. Devar Vyasa, Swayam Chayeva, Pravishi. Very nice, very nice. So Vasudeva Bhagavati, Sarvatmani Paryamale. Ekantitvam Gato Bhaktya. The word bhakti is used. Yes, Mataji, read on.
Thus Krishna, fully satisfied in true knowledge, always keeping his mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, achieved true devotional service to the Lord, and began traveling all over the world without affection for material activities as he were deaf, dumb, and blind.
Andha, Badhira. So Jada means is not speaking. Andha means blind, and Badhira means deaf. So in short, Pṛṣadhra became a he became Avadhut, the topic of our discussion. So he became an Avadhut. He became a great devotee of Krishna, Vasudeva Bhagavati, completely depending on Krishna, right? Fully satisfied. And his mind was completely on Supreme Personality of Godhead. He achieved pure devotional service to Krishna. So he became a pure devotee. Pṛṣadhra became a pure devotee. So was the curse a curse or a blessing? This is the power of bhakti. Bhakti transforms even a curse into a great blessing. Yesterday we were talking about why Śrīmad Narad Muni or Shrivas Thakur is there. Another example is Damodar Leela. Damodar Leela took place so that Narad Muni Satyam Vidhato Nija Bhritya Bhashitam, so that his promise to Nalakuver and Manigiri that Krishna will deliver you will come true. Krishna will be bound to the wooden grinding mortar, and then Krishna will pull those two trees down, Nalakuver and Manigiri, the Yamala Arjuna trees. So there also Narad Muni is there. So that Nalakuver and Manigiri were enjoying in the Mandakini Ganga near Kailas, which is a very holy place, where the supreme Vaishnava Namatha Shambhu resides, Shankar Bhagavan resides there, and they were engaging in sense gratification. So would they have had a Sadgati or Durgati? Durgati. But what happened because of Narad Muni's intervention? Brajvas. Instant Brajvas. And they get to see Krishna's childhood pastimes. And they get to participate in Damodar Leela. Isn't that wonderful? This is the power of bhakti. This is the power of association with the sadhu. Therefore, sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi. All the Shastra are saying, sarva Shastra, lava mata sadhu, sarva siddhi. This siddhi, with our own strength, is it possible to get Brajvas? For someone who is so handsome, Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri, it is not very difficult for such a person. Because Twam Akinchana Gochara. But Śrīmad Narad Muni made them Akinchan. Now you have nothing. You cannot even move, just stand like this. So now he became a pure devotee and he became an Avadhut. And let's still discuss. Avadhut means a completely surrendered devotee of Krishna. Now text number 14, which is the last verse. The story ends with this. Evam vrito vanam gatva drishtva davam niyuttitam enopayutta karano brahma paramuni. Brahma prapa paramuni. So to somebody, some Mataji read the translation, please.
And when he entered the forest and saw a blazing forest fire, he took the opportunity to burn his body in the fire. Thus he achieved the transcendental truth.
Hare Krishna. So Pṛṣadhra became a pure devotee He was constantly thinking of Vasudeva and completely self-satisfied, completely depending on Krishna, always thinking of Krishna in his mind. And he was simply walking through the forests, not expecting any respect from anyone. So he was not speaking. He was as if he could not hear, as if he was blind. He didn't want to see anything of this world. When Kuresh was offered by Lord Varadraj his eyesight back, what did Varadraj say? I don't have a desire to see anything of this world. If at all you want to give me eyesight back, then give me the benediction that I can see your form and the form of Sripad Ramanujacharya, my Gurudev, at all times, 24/7. 24/7 darshan. That's all I want. I don't want anything else. Because what is the use of seeing things of this world? It is only a distraction. What did Bilomangalacharya do? To teach us a lesson that eyes have to be controlled. What we see with our eyes has to be controlled. And he was just going through the forest like a Avadhut, like Jada Bharat. Prabhuji mentioned Jada Bharat yesterday. He was going and he had attained the perfection of his life, Samadhi, complete Samadhi in Krishna. And then there was a forest fire. What did he do? Did he try to save himself? No. Why not? So can we say that this is suicide? Pṛṣadhra committed suicide. And suicide is a grave sin. No Shastra, no Acharya approves of suicide. So is this suicide? No. If it was suicide, Shudra Goswami would not glorify Pṛṣadhra like this. And he would not attain the highest destiny. The sin of suicide leads to hell, gives us a ghost body. But what was the mood of Pṛṣadhra? Can someone tell?
Servitor attitude.
Yes, servitor attitude.
Constantly absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord.
See, he did not even have the awareness to see, to speak, to hear. He was completely, they called it Vaideha. He was like transcendental to the body. He was not in the Deha. He was completely in Samadhi. So now whether there is a fire or there is water or there is rain or there is shine or there are green grass, it doesn't matter. Krishna, if you want to maintain me, the fire cannot touch me. Prahlad Maharaj was burnt in fire so many times, nothing happened. He was thrown off the cliffs, nothing happened. Mare Krishna Rakhe ke, Rakhe Krishna Mare. Krishna, if you want to save me, you have given this fire. If it comes and burns me, I am not going to try to save myself. Like Ambarish Maharaj. He didn't try to run like Durvasa Muni. He said, Krishna, if you want to kill me, Maro bhi rakho bhi, jo ichha tohar, nitya dasa prati, tu adhikar. You have full adhikar on me. You can do whatever you want with me. So he did not try to escape. Not that he committed suicide. We should not misunderstand that Pṛṣadhra committed suicide. He didn't commit suicide. He was completely absorbed in Krishna. He was not aware of what's happening. He was just, yes, completely absorbed. Exactly. Completely absorbed in Krishna. And then whatever happened to the body through the elements, material elements, it happened. Now, purport is very beautiful. Purport. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Together. Janma karma chame of my appearance and disappearance, appearance and activities does not upon even the body take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal Amula Arjun. Now, Srila Prabhupada says, because his karma was cursed to take his next birth as a Shudra. Because he took to saintly life, specifically concentrating his mind always upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, Vasudeva Bhagavati, he became a pure devotee. Immediately after giving up his body in the fire, he reached the spiritual world as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Mameti. Mameti, sorry. You come to me. As a result of his bhakti, devotional service. Devotional service performed by thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Man Mana, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu, Mam Anusmara, thinking of God, is so powerful that although Pṛṣadhra was cursed by Vasishtha Muni, his own Gurudev, he was cursed, he avoided the terrible consequence of becoming a Shudra. And instead, returned home back to Godhead. Let's just process this, what happened. Vashishta Muni has cursed Pṛṣadhra. Did that curse take effect? No. If Shringi's curse can take effect, what to speak of Vashishta Muni? But Vashishta Muni's curse also did not work on Pṛṣadhra. That is the power of bhakti. Therefore, Krishna says, Sarva dharman paritejya mamekam sharanam vraja aham. I will. Krishna takes responsibility. Rakhe Krishna mareke. Krishna, I will protect. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayashyami. Bhakti. That is the power of bhakti. The curse did not work. And I love this story because this is a praman, example, that even if a devotee is cursed by the highest Brahman, it will not work. If one is completely Sharanagati, if one understands what is Sharanagati, curse will not work no matter who curses. Curses do not work on devotees. And if they do, like they worked in the case of Parishit Maharaj, it's a Leela. Krishna wants it to happen. See, that Krishna who protected Parikshit from the Brahmastra in the womb could have protected from the curse of that little boy, Shringi. Who is giving Shringi the power to curse? Balam balavatam chaham. Krishna is the source of Paurusham Drishu. He is the ability in man. But Krishna wanted Parikshit to die like that. To teach us an example that in 7 days, by taking shelter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, one can go back to God. Now, Parikshit Maharaj is listening to this story. Please pay attention. Who is hearing the story? What was the first verse? How did it begin? Shri Shukha. So, who is the Shrota? Now, is Parikshit saying, wait a minute, Gurudev, what's happening here? Why not me? Oh, Sharanagati. This is the heart of a devotee. Surrender. We have to understand what is Sharanagati. And we'll sing a bhajan about Sharanagati now. So, now Srila Prabhupada, in his brilliant, beautiful purport, he concludes with a superb verse. One of my favorite verses from Brahma Samhita. So let us sing this. We'll sing it 3 times together, okay? So what is Prabhupada saying? That Pṛṣadhra avoided the terrible consequence of the curse of becoming a Shudra and instead returned home back to Godhead. So what to speak of becoming a Shudra? He went back to Godhead. He went to Vaikuntha. Paramgati. So let's read the translation of this verse and then we'll relish this verse from Brahma Samhita together. Okay? So in Brahma Samhita 5.54, Lord Brahmaji is praying, those who engage in devotional service. So you look at the 3rd line, end of 3rd line, Bhakti Bhajam. Bhakti Bhajam. Those who engage in devotional service are unaffected by the results of their karma, their material activities. Karmani nirdahati. They are freed from. So can karma affect a devotee? Yes. Brahma Samhita says no. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam says no. And Bhagavad Gita says no. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayashyami. Krishna will burn all karma. Otherwise, if you are not a devotee, bhakti bhajam nahi hai. If one is not engaged in bhakti, otherwise everyone, from the smallest microbe, Indragop is a small worm. From the smallest microbe up to Devendra. So Indragop is the insect and Atha Devendra. So Indra, the king of heaven. From king of heaven Indra to a small microbe, everyone is subject to the laws of karma. So this you have to understand. If a tiger, like in this story, kills a cow, does a tiger get karma? No. We get karma. The human beings can perform karma. Animals don't perform karma. But a jiva gets an animal body because of previous karma. Somebody becomes a dog or a cow or a tiger or a worm because of previous karma. That is the meaning of this. That they are subject to laws of karma because that person has got the Indragop body as a worm because of previous karma. So everybody is under the law of karma, but new karma only human beings can create. People go to higher planets to enjoy because of previous pious karma. People go to lower planets to suffer because of previous bad karma. So they are simply enjoying and suffering karma done in the karma bhumi, which is earth planet. This you have to understand. So everybody is subject to, but everybody is subject to karma, because whatever situation they are in, that is also because of karma. A pure devotee, being always engaged in the service of Lord Krishna, is exempt from these laws of karma. A devotee is exempt from these laws of karma. Hare Krishna. But does that make a devotee puffed up? Yeah. I know the Supreme Krishna. I don't have to care about the laws of no. A devotee is very careful. Devotee doesn't do anything that is against the Shastra. Yaha Shastra Vede Utsrijya Vartate Kamakarata Nasa Shanti Mavapnoti Na Sukham Na Paramgati. A devotee will never break the laws. Never break the laws in the name of bhakti. What is that verse? Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatri Vidhi Vina Aikanti Ki Harer Bhakti Utpad Eva Hi Kalpate. It is simply Utpad. A devotee will never do Utpad. So devotee always humble, follows the laws of karma. Why? Because my Krishna has made these laws. Why should I break? An obedient child will never break the laws of the parents. Obedient child always obeys the parents. So this is the meaning. But Krishna is so kind that if there is an accidental mistake, like in the case of Pṛṣadhra, there is an accidental mistake, Krishna will protect. Law of karma will not work if it's an accidental mistake. But if it's a deliberate mistake, Kirtan Sundarmati was reciting Namaprad. What is one Namaprad? To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. That we should never do. Because if you offend the holy name, if you offend the Vaishnavas, then we have nowhere to go. Hari sthane aparadhe, tare hari naam. Toma sthane aparadhe, nahi paritran. So you have to be careful. So, but this verse of Brahma Samhita says that everyone is under the stringent laws of karma. But if one is bhakti bhajam, one is engaged in Krishna bhakti, then the laws of karma do not work. Laws of karma do not work. Krishna burns all the karma. Govindam Adi Purusham. Now let's taste the nectar of this verse. Prabhupada is quoting this in the purport. Yas indra namaho swakarma Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yas indra gopamathavendra maho swakarma Bandhanurupa phala bhajana matanoti Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yas indra gopamathavendra mahosva karma Bandhanurupa phala bhajana matanoti Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam Govindamadi purusham tamaham Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. So this is Sharanagati. Pṛṣadhra Maharaj, he represents Sharanagati, completely surrendered to Krishna. So let us sing a very beautiful bhajan called Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichu More. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote more than 50 songs about Sharanagati, explaining the 6 limbs of Sharanagati. Dainya Atma Nivedana, Goptritve Varana, Avashya Rakshive Krishna Vishwasa Palana, Bhakti Anukula Matra Karyara Svikar, Bhakti Pratikula Bhav Varjanangika. 6 limbs of Sharanagati. He wrote more than 50 songs. So you can pull up Manasa Deha Geha, Jo Kichu More, Arapilu Tua Pade, Nanda Kishore. So it's a very beautiful song. And it represents Atma Nivedana, means completely surrendering oneself to Krishna. Everybody got Manasa Deha Geha? Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichu More. Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichu More Arapilu Tua Pade
जीवने मराने दाय मम गेला तुआ ओ पद भराने
संपद विपदे जीवन मराने दाय मम गेला तुआ ओ पद भराने
मारो फिरा जो इच्छा तुम्हार नित्य दास प्रति दुआधिकार।
जय हो। मारो मेरा भी जो इच्छा तुम्हार नित्य दास प्रति दुआधिकार।
जन्म इच्छा जादी तो भक्त गिरे जनी जन्माओ
जन्माओमी इच्छा जादी तो भक्त गिरे जनी जन्माओ
गीता जन्म हो जठा तु बहिर्मुख ब्रह्मा जन्मे नाही
गीता जन्म हो जठा तु दास बहिर्मुख ब्रह्मा जन्मे नाही
भक्ति मुक्ति स्त्रीहा विहीन जे भक्ता लभाते ताको
जय हो
संगानुरास्ता
भक्ति मुक्ति स्त्रीहा विहीन जे भक्ता लभाते ताको
जानक जननी दायिका प्रभु गुरुपति तुहु सर्वमोरे
जानक जननी दायिका प्रभु गुरुपति तुहु
भक्ति विनोद को हे सुनो काना राधा नाथ तुहु हमारा पराना
भक्ति विनोद को हे सुनो काना राधा नाथ तुहु हमारा पराना
भक्ति विनोद को हे सुनो पाना राधा नाथ तुहु हमारा पराना
भक्ति विनोद को हे सुनो पाना राधा नाथ तुहु हमारा
Hare
Hari Bol. Now let us one by one read the translation quickly. It's very beautiful. One Prabhuji, one Mataji, like that. Please.
Mind, body, and family, whatever may be mine, I have surrendered at your lotus feet, O youthful son of Brahma.
In good fortune or in bad, in life or at death, all my difficulties have disappeared by choosing those feet of yours as my only shelter.
Daily I protect me as you wish, for you are the master of
If it is your will that I be born again, then may it be in the home of your devotee.
So long as I be within your devotee, I have no desire to be born as a Brahma, diverse to you.
I yearn for the company of that devotee, who is completely devoid of all desire for worldly enjoyment or liberation.
Father, mother, lover, son, lord, preceptor, and husband, you are everything to me.
Thakur Bhakti Vinod says, O Kana, please hear me. O Lord of Radha, you are my life and soul.
Hare Krishna. Bhakti Vinod Thakur Mahashaya ki Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Let us always be in the association of wonderful devotees. Let us try to be sincere, and with the feeling of Sharanagati, let us practice our Krishna consciousness. Let us chant Hare Krishna, and whatever comes in life, the good, the favorable, the unfavorable, pleasure, pain, we have to tolerate it, knowing that it is our karma, and at the end, Krishna is always there for us. Pṛṣadhra had to go through so much. He gave up his palace, he gave up good food, he gave up the prestige of being the son of Vaivasvat Manu, and he was just roaming in the forests, which means no proper clothes, no proper footwear, no money, no proper arrangement for food and maintenance. He went through all that tapasya, but in the end, what did he get? Krishna. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that bhukti mukti spriha vihina je bhakta labhaite kako sanga anurakta. That I want the association of which devotees? Who are bhukti mukti spriha vihina, who are devoid of the desire for bhukti and mukti. So otherwise, those who are materialistic people, they may have a lot of comforts and luxuries. They may have it easy in life, but where are they going? After this life, we don't know. But where is a devotee going? Manmana bhavamad bhakto mam eva. We are going to Krishna. A devotee is going to Krishna. So let us try to be sincere devotees. And it's a very joyful process. It is such a joyful process. Just see, we woke up in the morning, we chanted together, right? Then we did nice 7 o'clock, we did nice kirtan and bhajans and artis. Then we sat down together and we are hearing nice Krishna Katha together. And we did nice bhajans and kirtans, and now we'll have nice prasad. This is Keval Ananda Kanda. Tell me where in this world we will get friends like we have in ISKCON. Nowhere else. Where people will host with so much love, invite with so much love, and everybody's coming and nobody's giving any money. And we don't have to buy tickets. It's all free. It's all based on love and trust. So this is Keval Ananda Kanda. We don't want to leave this society. We always want to be in ISKCON. Prabhupada has given such a beautiful life. And after this beautiful life, it gets better. Like Srila Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, on his departure bed, he would say that, Maharaj, we made it. We made it. I am experiencing such bliss from Krishna consciousness. I wouldn't trade my position with anyone else. And he's got stage 4 cancer. He's on hospice in excruciating pain. And he's saying, I would not trade my position with anyone else. And then he says, Maharaj, it cannot get better than this. It cannot get better than this. But Maharaj, it keeps getting better every moment. Every moment it is getting better. Anandam buddhi, vardhanam prati, padam, purnamrita swadanam, sarvatma slapanam tam vijayate, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare. Now we'll go to the next part of the morning program, and we'll be careful. We'll only talk about Krishna, because I have seen the tendencies. Everything is nice. We are doing kirtan, bhajans, and Krishna katha. Moment prasadam is served and we sit. Oh, Prabhuji, kya chal raha office mein? Or you start talking all mundane things. Did you see the stock exchange? Did you see this? You start the conversation just goes down. So we are going to honor Krishna Prasad. We are only going to speak about Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, nothing else. Promise? Yes. Everybody will speak only about Krishna. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Clearly is evidently reflecting Prabhuji's, Shastric knowledge and realization and implementation in day-to-day life and practical execution of things. I have seen Prabhuji live more closely on multiple occasions, and I do not see Prabhuji is going out of anything which is not living. And he's always sticking to Shastras, always talking about that. And as Prabhuji was saying that it was very joyous when we were chanting all together in the morning and at last. And I could see the joy on Prabhuji's face just by talking about it, which clearly talked about his purity, his realization. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing this nectar and giving us your valuable time on your busy schedule. We are eternally grateful to you for all the discourses, all the instructions, and all the teachings and the realizations you are sharing with us. Thank you so much.
Prabhupada ki Vrinda ki jai. Some? Yes, we'll all take. Oh, questions? I thought you said, would you like to take some prasad? Oh, questions? Yes, are there any questions? Sorry. Any questions or comments?
I was about to ask a question, but you already answered about when you were talking about that Krishna's devotees don't get impacted by any curse. And then we were seeing that, Parikshit Maharaj, that you answered that for the devotees, it happens to participate or to give confusion or possibility of having Krishna Leela to happen.
Yes. So like yesterday we were talking about Śrīmad Narad Muni, how he became Srivas Thakur and he's part of the Panchatattva. As Śrīmad Narad Muni, Prajapati Daksha cursed. What was the curse? That you will not be able to stay more than a muhurta anywhere, more than 48 minutes, you cannot stay in one place. Śrīmad Narad Muni said that is also enough. Prabhupada's classes are also 25 minutes, 29 minutes, 32 minutes. That is enough. But then that same Śrīmad Narad Muni comes as Srila Srivas Thakur. Does the curse work?
No.
Does he have a house?
Yes.
Does he have family?
Yes.
Not only family, he has a nice big home with Srivas Angan, where Mahaprabhu comes and does kirtan every day. And that becomes a Rasasthali. Krishna's Rasasthali manifests as Srivas Angan in Gaur Leela. So did Daksha's curse work? No. So devotees are beyond the curse, but even if it appears to be working, it is only for the sake of the glory of the devotee. It brings out the glory of the devotee. Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Vamshidhari Gopal Prabhu.
Prabhuji, should we understand from today's story that when somebody is performing his material duty or the duties of the world sincerely, then Krishna will pave the way for him to rise in any way. Here he created that situation so that just doing, following his spiritual master instruction, doing go seva and cow protection, that may not be enough So Krishna created the situation so that he can rise above and then he can ultimately reach the perfection.
Yes, so what Krishna does is something that will only expedite
Yeah.
us going back to Godhead. Provided we see Krishna's hand. That's why yesterday we were discussing Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chamai Pashyati. Tasyaham na pranashami sachamana. One who sees me everything and everything in me, for him I am never lost, nor is he ever lost. So as long as we see Krishna's hand in the reversals. So when normally what happens when somebody mistreats us, we see that it is between him and me. He ill-treated me, I will ill-treat him back. Because we don't see Krishna's hand. When someone ill-treats us, if we see that, oh, Krishna has put me in this situation, Krishna is inspiring him to act like this with me because Krishna wants me to become more tolerant or whatever, more forgiving. So if we see Krishna's hand, then the reversals of life only act to expedite our spiritual progress, fast track our spiritual progress, provided we see Krishna's hand in it. And provided we keep the Mahajans. That's why when in what is your city? Charlotte. When we were talking about Nityananda Prabhu, we came to a point where the Sannyasi Thakur asks Hadai Pandit and Padmavati Devi, give me your son in charity. And Hadai Pandit doesn't want to give because he loves Nitai. But he thinks that let me see what the Mahajans have done in this situation in the past. And he thinks about Dasharath Maharaj. Oh, even Dasharath Maharaj was in a similar situation when Vishwamitra Muni asked for Ram. And he gave. So I will also give. And we discussed about Śrīmad Yamunacharya. His last instruction to his disciples was, remember this one sutra from the Shastra, if you follow this, you will get Krishna in this lifetime. It's not even one verse. It's one line of one verse of Mahabharata. Śrīmad Yamunacharya said, if you follow this one phrase of the Shastra, you will get Krishna in this lifetime. And what is that? Mahajanayana Kathasapam. In any situation, we should think which character from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam has been through this situation. And what did that character do? I have to follow in the first. Mahajanayana Kathasapam. Give any situation in life, any reversal. Give.
Assignment.
Huh?
Overload of assignments.
Advait Chandra Prabhu. Advait Chandra Prabhu is saying that what do we do when we are overloaded with assignments? So our Vyasdev also was overloaded. With too many assignments. I have to give this scripture, this for fruitive activities, this for meditators, this for Ashtanga yogis. So much I have to give for people of all backgrounds. Overloaded. And he was frustrated also, not satisfied. So what did he do? He discussed with his spiritual master, Śrīmad Narad Muni. And then Śrīmad Narad Muni told him, you just focus on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Nigama kalpataror galitam. It is the ripened fruit. Why worry about get lost in the whole big tree? Focus on the fruit, the ripened fruit. So like that, he took shelter of his Gurudev. So when we are overloaded, we should also take shelter of the instructions of Gurudev and see what is the essence, what is the most important. So any other situation in life? Draupadi Devi lost all her 5 sons. What did she do? She took shelter. Kunti Devi lost her husband. And she lost the association of her sons also when they were sent to Vanvas later on. So Draupadi Devi is the prime example. How when we lose everybody, what do we do? Also Devahuti lost her son, lost her husband. So there are so many examples. What did they do? And everyone does the same thing in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Sharanagati. Complete shelter of Krishna. Any other situation?
Health reversal.
Huh?
Health reversal.
Health reversals. So any example you can think of health reversals in our Shastra? We have the example of Srila Sanatan Goswami. He was afflicted with skin disease, where his whole body was covered with ulcers and oozing pus and blood, and there were no dermatologists available. What did he do? He took shelter of Jagannath and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he actually at one point wanted to commit suicide. He said, I will throw myself under the wheels of the Jagannath Rath. What will happen to my body? With this body, I cannot enter the temple. And with this body, I cannot serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu said, no. Mahaprabhu said, if by committing suicide, one could get Krishna, I would commit suicide millions of times. But Mahaprabhu says, it is not by committing suicide that one gets Krishna. One gets Krishna only by bhajan. Mahaprabhu is the word bhajan. Only by doing devotional service one can get Krishna. And then he says, you stay like this. Don't commit suicide. And Mahaprabhu says, your body is mine. You are initiated by me. Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpan. Say kale Krishna kare tare atma samarpan. At the time of initiation, when we offer obeisances, we are offering our body to Gurudev. At the time of Diksha, we offer our body to Guru and Krishna. At that time, Guru and Krishna accept the person as their own property. So Mahaprabhu says, your body is my property. What right do you have to kill the body by committing suicide? Your body is my body. And Haridas Thakur erupts in ecstasy. Haridas Thakur says, Prabhu kahe tomar deha mora nicha dhan, tomasama bhagyavan nahi kono jan. He says, Prabhu is saying that your body is my dhan. Oh, who can be as fortunate as you? Sanatana Goswami, you are so fortunate. So Sanatana Goswami continued in that difficult situation, and it lasted for 1 year almost. His skin disease. The only part of his body that was spared, whole body was covered with ulcers. Only one part of his body was spared by the disease, and that was the soles of his feet. So he could walk. And one day even that got blistered. When Mahaprabhu called him for lunch, and he took the route along the beach, and the hot sand scorched blistered his feet. Whole body was covered with ulcers and sores and blisters now. But then Mahaprabhu embraced him, and his body became like gold. So health reversals, Sanatana Goswami we can think of. So in this way, any other situation you can think of that we go through difficult situation. The great devotees in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam have already gone through that for us, to show us the way, to show us the light. Therefore it's called Puran Arka. Krishna is Svadhamapada, that was Puran Arka is a sun Puran. It shows the light, shows the way. All these devotees, Pṛṣadhra, Parishut Maharaj, they have gone through these situations for our sake, to teach us. Kunti Devi, Draupadi Devi, the Pandavas, the Gopis, Nanda Yashoda, Vasudeva and Devaki were put in prison. Ambarish Maharaj was attacked by a Rakshas. So Prahlad Maharaj was troubled by his family members. Dev had to face stepmotherly treatment. So all the devotees have gone through any situation that we can think of. There is no situation that we have gone through or we are going through which other Mahajans have not gone through before. There is no situation like this. Have we been beaten in 22 marketplaces? Have we gone through what Draupadi went through in Kuru Sabha? So our Mahajans have gone through much worse situation. None of us have lost 5 children. Draupadi lost all the 5 children she had. So the worst situation that we can imagine, the Mahajans have gone through even worse. Prahlad was repeatedly, there was an attempt on his life by his own father. How many of us have gone through that? Where our father is putting us in fire, pushing us off the cliffs. So Mahajans have gone through much worse to teach us, to show us the way and to give us hope. Therefore, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is our best friend. Best friend. Krishna is Suradam Sarvabhutanam. Bhāgavatam is Krishna's incarnation, literary incarnation. Krishna Tulya Bhāgavata Vibhu Sarvashraya Prati Shloke Prati Akshara Nana Arthaka. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mata.
This is the last question.
Yes. Go ahead.
We talked about this, the situation that Pṛṣadhra finds himself, and it's totally involuntary.
Yeah.
But then in the examples, when we are looking at it, Ajamila, there's a lot of volunteer actions he takes, which are against. So Pṛṣadhra involuntarily commits offense. Ajamila, after knowing what is the right way, and even throughout during that life, he doesn't revert back or he doesn't realize the mistake. And he still gets Krishna's second chance. How are those two equal?
Very nice question.
Totally, because Pṛṣadhra was just absolute accident.
Yeah. Unknowingly it happened.
It was an accident.
Yeah.
But in case of Ajamila, he knows everything. He's following.
Yeah, so everybody understood the question? Yes, Prabhu.
I had a kind of question which is maybe related.
Ah.
I'll just say it and maybe if you want to answer.
Sure. Very good.
So I was thinking about the point, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So you were talking on the point of action and intention.
Hmm.
And I was thinking like, yes, Krishna sees our intention. But then again, in the case of Putana, it was more action. And in case of Ajamil, like, yes, he had some stuti of Narayan, but it was more of the action. I mean, so Krishna gives credit to action. Is that just special mercy or does he give credit to action?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Mataji's question is that what Pṛṣadhra did was completely involuntary. It was an accident. He accidentally killed the cow. Whereas Ajamil was a Brahman. He knew better. He knew what was right, what was wrong. But still, he gave in to his lower tendencies. But he also got Krishna. And Pṛṣadhra also got Krishna. Both got the same end result. So how do you understand that? Why did Ajamil? And Prabhuji's point was one step further, that if we take the example of Putana, intention and action, her intention was very evil, and Krishna is Bhavagrahi, then he sees the intention, but here Krishna took the action. So very beautiful. So as far as Pṛṣadhra and Ajamil, the comparison, it simply shows Krishna's mercy. That Krishna is so merciful that if it's a mistake that happens accidentally, like in case of Pṛṣadhra, full mercy will be given. Even a curse will not work. Even a curse of a Brahman will not work. Whereas in the case of Ajamil, where he just couldn't resist his temptation. He knew what was right, what was wrong, but he just didn't have the fortitude to stand up to the spiritual principles, and he just gave in to his vices. But he also got Krishna. That is an example of Krishna's mercy and the mercy of Krishna's name. He was chanting Narayan, 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 Narayan. And by chanting the name Narayan, name of Krishna, he got mercy. Even though it was Namabhas. There is Namabhas, there is Namabhas, and there is Shuddhanam. Even though it was Namabhas, he got mercy. So that simply shows Krishna's mercy. That if someone is like Pṛṣadhra, accidentally fall down, full mercy. Someone falls down because the temptations are too great to resist, still you'll get mercy. If you just keep chanting the name. So we also take a vow. I will follow 4 regulative principles. And I will chant 16 rounds every day. And many of us have difficulties. In our enthusiasm, we take the vows of initiation. And after initiation, we have difficulties. Sometimes we may not be able to follow the 4 regulative principles strictly. We may not be able to chant our 16 rounds nicely. So there is hope for us. As long as we keep chanting. As long as we keep that connection with Harinam, we will be delivered. There is the example of a disciple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Have you heard of Ayendra Prabhu?
Yes.
So Srimad Ayendra Prabhu writes that his father here in Virginia was a disciple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his previous life. He was initially a disciple of Srila Saraswati Thakur. Srimad Ayendra Prabhu writes, and he fell down. He could not follow the vows of initiation, and he had a desire to enjoy the Western world. It's very nice. Being in India, I was thinking of the West. So he was born in America, in Virginia. And he was completely godless, atheist all his life. He was into music and everything. He was an artist. But then he got a son like Ayendra Prabhu. He was a pure devotee, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And Ayendra Prabhu had a dream when he was living in Vrindavan, that you have to deliver your father. That's why you have taken birth as his son. You have to deliver him. So Ayendra Prabhu said, my father is an atheist. He doesn't like me. I left Vrindavan. I wrote my American passport and threw it in the air. My father doesn't like me. How am I going to deliver him? So Ayendra Prabhu prayed to Srila Prabhupada and found a verse in Padma Puran that if anybody is cremated with tulsi kashta, tulsi wood on their body, authentic tulsi wood on their body when they are cremated, that person goes to Vaikuntha. So Aindraprabhu removed his own Kantimala, which was one Brajvasi had made for him from Vrindavan tulsi plant. And he had worn it for so many years, offered at the lotus feet of Radha Shyam Sundar. He took out his Kantimala, a devotee was going to America, he gave him, go to Virginia please and give it to my father. And tell him that he should wear it at all times. And if possible, chant Hare Krishna also. Send the message to his father. He didn't even personally tell his father. So one devotee shows up at Indra Prabhu's home, tells his father that your son, Indra, he has sent this neck beads for you. He is requesting wear it all the time. And if possible, chant Hare Krishna. And the father is sick, approaching death. And he takes it very seriously. He immediately wears it, tells all the family members, no burial. I want to be cremated. And I want to be cremated with this necklace around my neck. Make sure you don't take it off. And he starts chanting Hare Krishna. And in few days he dies and he's cremated with the tulsi. That's what. There is always hope for a devotee. Even if we are like Ajamil. We are on the right path and then we deviate. As far as Putana is concerned, can we discuss this in the evening? Because that verse is going to come in Chaitanya Bhagavatam. But in short, the Putana example is an example of extreme mercy, where there is no qualification. She is a killer of small children. She has no sukriti. She has absolutely no qualification to get Krishna. Levye gatim dhatri. And she is getting the position of a mother, dhatri. Kamva dayalum sharanam rajima starakala kutam jidham sayapyapyayat asadhu lebhe gatim dhatruchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam rajima. Extreme mercy. So Pṛṣadhra, mercy. Devotee hai, galti ho gayi. Accidental mistake, mercy. Ajamil, great mercy. Was good but left me, but still I will accept him. Great mercy. Putana, extreme mercy. So it just keeps getting better and better. Better, best. Putana had nothing. She had evil intention. But only her action was good. I want to breastfeed my Krishna. Okay, mother. I will drink your poison and consider it to be milk. You become my mother in Goloka Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. We'll talk more about this in the evening. Yes, Prabhu.
I was just saying that even in Ajamil's case, it was more of the action that was important because his intention was calling his son out. But the action was just saying the name of the son. So he
Beautiful point. Did you get that? Very beautiful point. Even Ajamil, not that he was praying to Narayan, he was just Namabhas. Just calling his son. But Krishna said, okay. I will. Can I tell one last story?
Sure.
Then you'll have Pṛṣadhra, promise. So, no, I'm overweight. So, there are several stories coming to mind. I'll just tell one. So, there was one story I heard in Vrindavan. When we went to Barsana on Parikrama, one Babaji told us. He said it's a true story. This happened a few decades ago. He said the Babaji used to live here and do bhajan. You know this Gahebar one?
Yeah.
Mangad, down, there's a kund there.
Yes.
So he used to do bhajan there. And this Babaji was telling us the story of that Babaji, who recently had passed away. So the story was, he was a businessman from Delhi. And he was not into Krishna consciousness. He was like, make money and be merry. That was his philosophy. And he lived with his wife and children in Delhi. And one neighbor's son was getting married to a girl from Barsana. So this Delhi boy is getting married to a girl in Barsana. And the neighbor is this fellow, businessman. So in the whole Bharat, the whole procession comes from Delhi to Barsana. This fellow has never come to Vrindavan, never come to Barsana. First time he comes. And this was several decades ago when there was no cell phone. And you know how Indian marriages are, they are very crowded. And he was already a little elderly. So he comes with his wife to attend the neighbor's son's wedding. Ladke wale, they come from the bride, the groom's side, they come. And there's a big mandap and shehnai and all those music and the whole, Indian marriage going on, crowded. and he and his wife get separated in that crowd. And I think it was even Kartik month. So super crowded. So many parikramas, so many pilgrims, and no phone, nothing. And they are elderly. They are like in their 70s. And they get separated from each other. And his wife's name is Kishori. So he's yelling in Barsana in the month of Kartik. Kishori! Kishori! He's going to different layers of Barsana. Kishori! He goes to Mangar. Kishori! He goes to Dangar. Kishori! He goes to Vilasgarh. Kishori! Everyone is being shouting, Kishori! 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 And then Babaji told us that Radharani called Lalita Sakhi. Then who is this calling out my name? Kishori! Kishori! So Lalita Sakhi says, hey Radhe, this man is not calling you. He is calling his wife. Wife's name is Kishori. Radharani tells Lalita Sakhi, hey Sakhe, but originally Kishori is my name. Kishori. Kishori is my name. This man has come to my home. He has come to my palace. Mere mahal mein aake, mere mahine mein, in the month of Kartik, he is chanting my name with such desperation. Kishori! 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 What do you call him? So Lalita Sakhi finds Kishori, the wife, finds the man, and both of them had Sakshat Darshan of Radharani. They never went back. Both of them stayed there in Gaivarvan and did bhajan all their life and gave up their body also there. Extreme mercy. So all these Babas who are in Vrindavan, we should ask them, what is your story? We get such nice stories then of extreme mercy. Radharani ki Jai. Radha Nilmani ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.